Hello everybody and welcome back. It's the finale. It's the Serious Sam finale. Serious Sam 4 finale. SSFF. So, basically what happens in the last episode is we end up shipwrecked in a word. We parachute down rather, but we are technically shipwrecked. There's other cargo stuff right there, so it's the classic shipwreck. So, we try to swim because that hasn't been a thing, and then the jumping fucks up, and well, we die. So where it picks up at is there is the Scorpion right there, little Scorpion machine gunner, and so we gotta shoot him with the grenades from the shotty, and then we take out little cohorts that are with him, those little scaly bellies, and yeah, it's a little fun section, kind of like slowly pacing you back to it, and I'm like, oh okay, it's pretty neat. I like it. I like this. I hope they do more with this. Then I regret saying that because this is the shortest section ever. Also, random suitcase. Nothing in it. You can't take it. I've shot at it. I knelt down at it. I prayed to it. I didn't know what the hell it wanted, but I could not pick it up to save my life, so I don't know what it does. But it's there. Looking good. I guess. I don't know. I really enjoyed this section here. Even though it's open, and that was one of my biggest complaints about this game, is how everything is just way too open and there's like no level design. This gives you a feeling of like desertion almost. It's like it gives you that desolate feeling. They could have done a lot with this. I know it's not a horror game, but they could have introduced aspects of it because it's the prequel game. I mean, it's the game that leads up to it. So they could have done like some little jump scares or whatever, something neato. But this little section here where we fight off all these baddies is pretty good. I don't really have a complaint with it. At this point in time, keep that in mind. At this point in time, I'm still enjoying myself. I'm still very much enjoying myself. It's still a lot of fun. I'm like excited that there's new levels, and I'm like, oh, what else are they gonna do with this? It's so neat that they're adding stuff to it, and well, you just see what happens.
Alright, now to get to the main deck.
So after that little bit of a slog, you get to the boat, and it is the slowest moving thing on Earth. You can't run. You cannot run. And it is so cramped that with slippery controls like Serious Sam has, it's a slog to get through. It is not fun. I thought it would be like a little fun section, like I just said the jump scares, and no, it was not good. But we get a really stupid side quest. So basically, it's about a guy that's obsessed with Sorceress Sam, and It's just a text adventure. So this was actually a pretty fun diversion to the game. Like, it was pretty neat to see it play in itself, almost like breaking the fourth wall in a way. And what I didn't know what to choose, so I just kind of went with like the most random answers ever. Like, the whole thing is just like upset about beer, and it's great. I actually really enjoyed this segment here just because it like humored itself, you know. It wasn't like it was trying too hard. It was just, you read through the whole sections that they type out, and it's stupid that they have this, but it's funny. So that was the one joke, I guess, one section of jokes that I thoroughly enjoyed, even though it was just a text adventure, because it didn't take itself too serious, and the jokes didn't feel forced. It was just kind of like a thing that you could miss, you know. Every time I got one of those, I wasted it as soon as I got it. Like, coming up here, it's the stupidest way that it happens, but first more boat stuff. And it's slow moving. It's times 8, and it's just so slow. Like, it's not even the normal walk speed. It is incredibly slow. And then I go normal for the level up, I guess. I don't know what to call it, skill point, because I just wanted y'all to see what kind of path I went on. You know, y'all play how you want to play, obviously, but this is what worked for me at this point in time, and I'm sure if you did New Game Plus, if that's your dig, then you could just go ahead and do that. But yeah, you can see right here, it is incredibly slow. Incredibly slow. Like, it was not fun traversing the boat, and I thought it would be. Like, I was looking forward to it. And then once you're out here, he gets like a stick up his ass and starts moving fast. I'm like, what the fuck? So stupid. But at the same time, I'm glad that it did, because if you were moving that slow in this section, you'd be toast. You'd be ironed on toast. And just when you thought you were done, there's just a little bit more of it, just to remind you of how slow it is. Just to remind you. It's like, it's almost spiteful, this part right here, because they could have just done it open. Then we get to the little baddie rush here. I was going to call it a boss rush, but it's not really a boss rush. It's just like a baddie rush. So, and the stupid way that it happens is coming up later. It's after most of all of this, and I promise you, it's very, very stupid, because it could have been avoided. Like, I really did it to myself, and I'm taking the blame for that. It's not the game's fault, it's my fault. I fucked up. Real quick, you know what I like about this? There's design to it. It's not just some open field. Like, yes, it's very much open. However, the thing with it is that there's things to go behind. As you can see in the back there's a second and third story. You can climb it, you can get a vantage point, or you can just kind of loop around the containers and, you know, make a diversion. Then when you're ready, just plop back around and pop, you know? That's what makes this part good. That's what made that little section before what's coming up, that was like, okay, it's redeeming itself at the end of the game for whatever reason. But no, it gets back to it. It lets us not forget.
I would like to register complaint regarding method of evacuation from doomed oil rig. Number of lifeboats is too small for number of theoretical survivors.
One thing that I kept messing up on was that usually the R3 is the melee, and that's how you climb too. So I kept messing up on that, and you know, this is just like explore, 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 because I went to the wrong tower and I was like thinking, well, maybe I could jump to it. And literally coming up in this next few, probably half a minute, is where I mess up and I let it go to shit, because I hear something and I'm like, oh look, a heli. Well, I'll sneak up on it and I'll take it out. Well, my stupid ass doesn't realize that if there's one, chances are there's going to be more, because that's what Serious Sam is. And literally the objective is right there. So I die, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'll fucking use it. So it is literally the stupidest way that I could have utilized that, when I could have saved it and potentially had two, because I do pick up another one, and just like in this instance, I die in the stupidest fucking way and I end up using it.
Skipper's log. Heading for Tunguska to prevent a mutated general from handing over an alien artifact to an evil super being from outer space. So, basically Tuesday. Now what? Huh? Strange things are afoot in the Arctic Circle. Hey, Sam! Who are you? I'm you from the future. It's complicated, just roll with it. It's not the weirdest thing that's happened this week. Listen up, your team's safe. Hellfire took care of that, but that Weasel Brand has the Grail and is headed for the portal now. In this version of the timeline, you landed too far to the east. But don't worry, I got you covered. Thanks, buddy. Good to know I have my back. What can I say? We're a great guy.
Sir, the pyramid is done charging.
All right, I'm coming. That was interesting. Quinn, I need a route to the portal.
Sam? I thought you were dead.
I got better.
What happened?
This thing doesn't have GPS.
No, I meant to you. What happened to you?
Oh, the usual stuff. Got drugged on a train, jumped from a plane, talked to my future self, and now I don't know how to get to Tunguska.
I don't even... Okay, give me a sec.
Thanks, Quinn. Always a pleasure.
This is non-standard use of vehicle.
Fly me to the Noom.
I do not understand.
No? How about, don't lose your head?
You confuse me. Is this joke?
Okay, soldier. You have no sense of humor. Which way to the big battle? Thanks. Have a nice day.
It is not likely.
Alright, so I did want the cutscenes to play out a little bit, because, you know, I didn't want to interrupt it, because some crazy shit happens, like how Sam comes back, so all of a sudden he's a time traveler. I know there are points and references, but at the same time, I really wasn't expecting that, considering that there was no indication that that's ever happened before that I recall. It's been a long time since I played the initial 3. I'm sure there might have been something, but I just can't remember. And we go to a side quest, and I'm pretty sure I skipped past, because this was like 2.5 hours of gameplay and story that I had to trim, and I barely got it to fit into 1 hour. And, I have to for trimming on the PlayStation, unless I want to cut everything up and get it to my PC, which I have done before. I did it with a few episodes of Ragnarok because I didn't want to cut anything out of that. But I also have to trim everything in 15-minute segments, or else I can't transfer it for whatever reason, which is stupid, but I think it's also with the misreading of the jump drive I was using. But anyway, yeah, a little segment here is a lot of fun. We just go blasty for some rage serum that I waste in the future. Just keep that in mind. I don't use it for good. Well, it was for good. It was the only way to get through that section. I hate that section. Just thinking about it sends chills up my fucking spine. Not in a good way either. Not like, oh, it's really wrong. Like, it makes my stomach hurt. It makes me want to, like, puke. It was so awful.
The base is secure, but I don't see any survivors. Sorry, Quinn.
You know, I told General Brand this would happen, but did he listen to me? No! Nobody ever listens to Quinn. I have a degree in crisis management, but does that matter? No, we just do whatever stupid thing General Brand comes up with, and then everybody dies.
He did turn out to be a really bad general.
So true.
Yeah, so having the general be the big bad, well, one of the big bads is kind of like weak to me. It's kind of a weak storytelling moment because it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like the red herring. You know, he's so searching for the grail, and it's for the ultimate good, and he sends his best guy in there, and then, you know, it's just kind of lackluster. It just doesn't. I think they did that to fill time so that they could have another big boss. But again, well, I won't say it. I won't say it. We'll just wait for it. While I still have it fresh in my head, also, the thing with the jet ski things, for whatever reason, I literally just got Metal Gear Solid 1 vibes, like at the end of the game when they're in Alaska, and, you know, whoever you save, whether it's Otacon or Meryl, you ride off with them, and I'm like, oh, that scene, for whatever reason, just reminded me of that, and I'm like, there's a couple parts where it reminds me of like other games and other media, like coming up towards the end. It's like Just Cause, and I'll get to why it reminds me of that. And that section there just screamed Metal Gear Solid, because he makes the big escape and then he rides off in a snowmobile. I know that he's used the snowmobile before, but just the way that they framed that scene just reminded me of Metal Gear. And then right here, I'm just fucking with the tree physics. I mean, there is no collision. I'm just able to run right through it. So now we get to the part that this part was okay. This part wasn't so bad. I don't mean bad as in like difficult. I mean literally the frames drop to 0. This is the beginning of it, like what happens here. But overall, this section wasn't too bad to get through. A little bit of a slog, like just repetitive, but that's fine. I know they have to make it like a big exit for the game, because you can tell that you're riding on the coattails of the ending. So they kind of have to make it like a theatrical, like an 80s action movie. That's what I feel like Serious Sam is. Like, he's taking on all these dudes without taking damage, like all these aliens without getting hurt or whatever. And when he does, it's like he gets right back up and he's right back to it, just like those 80s macho movies. So I wasn't too upset about that. What I get upset about is when the game literally can't handle it. When it cannot handle it. I have it set to performance, mind you, because if you remember, I think it's episode 2 or 3, it was on graphics, and I said, whoa, the game's running like dog shit. So I shut it off, and I went to performance, because I'm like, well, I'd rather have frames over it looking a little bit crispy. You know, that's fine, because it's not like it's a horrible looking game. It's not. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it is, because it's not. It looks good. It's just, control-wise, it's a little goofy, that's all. But I can get over that. I mean, we made it this far, so apparently it's something we can get over. But the part that's coming up, oh, I hated it. Couldn't stand it, but this part here was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun going through it, and even though, you know, it had its points of difficulty, whatever, you know, whatever. We're fucking Serious Sam. We're gonna take this shit on, right? Right? So here we go. I got the secret gadget, which is the heart, and guess what? I get right to the aliens, and I die right away. I literally die right away, like the chump that I am. And it's not like it was a slow one. Like, I got there, I started shooting the grenades like an idiot, which I've never had good luck with it, so I don't know why I went to that first when I had the miniguns, but that's what I went to. And it bit me. It bit me hard. So, yeah, that's the second time that I got wasted, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Was not a fan of this section here. This is actually one of the parts that actually starts to mess up, because it's when they give you the Devastator and they start bringing the onslaught of enemies that it really kills the performance rate. Which, at this point, it's not bad. Like, there's not really bad frame drops at this moment. It just starts at this point in time.
I have no idea what you just said.
You must kill Red.
Now that I understand.
So you go down the slide, and I, thought it was Dunzo. I'm like, okay, cool. They're giving us this weapon. They're going to prep us for the end of the game. We're going to fight off against the general. Cool. Great. Awesome. Fantastic. I can't wait. Because I'm going to use the death ray that they give you in the C case, which I had to, because the video is long, I had to, snip out parts, and where the transition starts is when I open the case. So that's why it's like that. But basically, you open the case and there's the death ray expansion. Anyway, I was super excited at this part. this is right about the time that the frames start to be assholish and literally kill us. So I take the Rage Serum to get out of the way, because that's the only option I had at that time. Literally at that point in time, that was it. Because it was unplayable. Like, literally, I cannot do anything. So I have just segments where I literally just die, or it's too much that the game can't handle it, and so it's freezing, it's dropping frames to 0 and all this shit, and it was bad. I literally had to lower the difficulty just to play it. It's not like it was a skill issue. It was just the game couldn't handle it, so it was just unplayable. But as you can see, all is well that ends well, because we make it to the fray. And even right now, you can see that the frames are dropping because they're just like infinitely spawning forces on both ends. So you have our forces, the Earth forces, and then you have the enemy forces that are spawning to the right that I haven't gotten to yet. And the thing with that is, there's so much happening that even when you're walking, you can see that it's still just dropping. So this whole section here, it almost made me want to quit. It's not like this part here, we died. I was just fuming angry from this section before, because it was probably a solid 10 times that I died, because it was unplayable. And then once I lowered the difficulty to easy, because we were on normal, or whatever they call easy, novice, I don't fucking know. But we were able to do it, so I wasn't going to argue with it. I just said, fuck it, we're going to go from here. And I want to say, either at this point, you're going to see that I'm walking, and then it stops, and that's when I pause it and turn it back to normal, so it's going to say mixed or whatever if I check the stats screen. But I do eventually change it back at a point in time. It might be after this too, it might be during the finale, but this part here was a lot of fun. I did enjoy, you know, this section here, and I was glad that they kept the ammo stocked clean, you know, just like, oh, open the chest, infinite, just pick up that ammo, because we needed it. Like, you needed it for this part. This was like the big send-off, and it was glorious. I really enjoyed this segment. After, you know, hating my life for a good hour of the game, which, yeah, it was probably like an hour with how much progress you make versus dying and then waiting on the load screen. It was probably a good hour. And then I just fast forward this segment. That's actually the pause screen, so you can see right there, it was slow fade, but it does pop in, and then that's where I had it paused to do everything. And yeah, I mean, I just fast forwarded this because nothing really happens. It's nothing that I wasn't doing before, so I didn't really see a point to doing it. I should have just been moving ahead, but instead I wasn't. And then I thought I was supposed to move ahead, but then we get a little wake up. We get a little reality check. That's the way to put it.
Damn it! You keep getting uglier. Oh, shit.
I, Howard Brand, the last human, the beast of the apocalypse, have summoned thee, Oog-San, O great warlock, O mightiest servant of Tahum, to present thee with a gift for the One Infinite. This prisoner, Almighty One, is your most hated adversary, Sam Stone. The Lord of Unreason will be most pleased to see him humbled. Let this tribute be the start of a great and powerful alliance. Together, we shall bring about the end of history.
The biggest fucking waste of a boss ever. The biggest waste. They just kind of flicked the general out of existence, and then it's so stupid. I hated that. I'm like, why did you have all this build-up for that moment to just waste it? What was the point? So basically what I did at this section, because it's a long section, but it's not hard. This whole section here wasn't that difficult, and I'm like, okay, final boss is going to be super difficult. Nah, it wasn't that bad, bro. So basically, they give you a grappling hook. Well, I guess that's making fun of the Just Cause thing, or just paying homage to it. But you just gotta stick little stickies on there and blow it to sky high, blow it to hell. But I fast forward through it. Not really fast forward, but we cut. So, right there, bam, go to the second one, and then the second and third together. But that's basically how I did this, because if I didn't, then this section would be a lot longer, and it wouldn't be able to fit in the video, so it was the way to do it. It had to be done this way. There was no other way.
Just a pinch of seafood. Charges set.
Good work, babe! Yeah! Round the hell, boss! Couldn't have exploded that better myself.
It ain't about size, it's about technique.
Somebody order a mech.
I don't know why I didn't realize that that was a climbing gear, but I don't. I'm stupid. I never said I was smart. But I run back to the mech, and then we go in for the final showdown. This is it. It's now or never, and I ain't gonna live forever. You know what I mean? That's right. We're bringing it to Bon Jovi. We were living on a prayer, but really, this whole section wasn't bad. I honestly expected more. It was kind of lackluster. I mean, you can see right here just laying waste into it, and it's just not doing much of anything. The game kind of fucks up on frames for a second, and then cutscene.
Yes! We did it!
I fear the creature is only temporarily stunned. If you do not act, it will rise again. But how do we kill it?
I have just the thing. Hellfire! I'm gonna need wings.
Your wish is my command.
Oh, no, you don't. Take that, snake stick.
Sam, did you just break the Holy Grail?
Yep.
That thing's gonna blow!
Yep.
Hey, boys, did you miss me?
You're right on time.
Wanna go for a ride? Say hi to the big fella?
You betcha. Open wide. That went straight to his head.
I would have said, don't lose your head.
Already did that one today.
That was one hell of a migraine.
This is getting very cerebral.
Things came to a head.
Brain drain is a serious issue.
Talk about a head rush.
I guess he couldn't get it out of his head.
No, wait. I got it. We blew his mind.
Perfect.
Yep, that's the one.
I hate it when I come up with the right one-liner 5 minutes after I kill the monster.
Yeah, it's the worst.
The life so short, the craft so long to learn.
I had pun block for a week once.
It's never happened to me.
You think this is the end? You think you've won? You have no idea what Tahum is capable of. He will destroy this planet, and nothing...
Just in case.
Oh, and by the way, tell Mental, Earth says hi. And then I jumped out of the plane right over the Arctic Ocean.
And you survived how?
He's serious, Sam?
That is not an explanation. I'm Rodriguez the Ram. When I jumped off a hooker's bicycle, I broke my
You know,
pelvis.
there's a theory that states...
Oh God, not again. It's not a theory when some whack job just comes up with some random stuff, Carter. Anyone can do that. I can do it. Dogs invented the moon. My grandmother was a reptiloid. Sam is a time traveler.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
There's a hypothesis.
So, how did you guys escape from the Harvester?
Oh, it was so badass.
It was gross.
They tried to probe us.
What? Nobody tried to probe me.
Me neither. Carter, I think they singled you out. Did you tell them one of your theories? Sorry, I mean hypotheses.
Well, you would have been next. They went after me first because of my intel.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
Man, that was a long mission.
Oh, yeah.
At least we got to see the sights.
You know, Rome was pretty cool. Especially the Vatican. You know, before Sam blew it up.
Hey, I only blew up part of it.
France was awesome. But I'm part French, you know, I'm biased.
You're part French, too?
Of course.
French is the language of love, and I am all about the loving.
Ew.
Yo, pass me the marshmallows.
Rodriguez ate them all.
Damn it.
Let's call Quinn and order more.
You know, she's a communications officer, not your personal assistant.
We're out of beer.
Damn it! Quinn, we need more beer.
Hey, you remember when Kenny lost his shoe?
Poor Kenny.
He was a good kid.
I wish Father Mikhail was here.
So you could torture the poor man with your theories?
Well, I choose to believe that he enjoyed our conversations.
Man, I wish we could kill Brand some more.
How many times have we saved the Earth now?
I don't know, like 7, 8?
Are we counting Beijing?
Definitely.
What about Oslo?
I don't think that counts. Plus, you ran over that nun.
I keep telling you guys, she came out of nowhere.
How many more times do you think we can pull this off? Saving the planet?
As many as we have to.
No way we're all gonna make it.
Speak for yourself.
Well, whoever's left at the end will have to find a way. There's always a way. Sometimes it requires dynamite, but it's always there.
Wow, that got dark fast.
I got beer.
Gwen, you came!
There! You came!
You are my personal assistant.
Oh, shut up, Hellfire.
A toast. Let's raise our beers in memory of absent friends.
To Jones. Miss you, buddy.
To Father Mikhail, I hope they let you take your shotgun into heaven.
To Kenny, you were just getting the hang of it.
So, where do you think they'll send us next?
Someplace warm would be nice.
But not too humid.
How about Egypt?
Americano.
Nana, I have a mission for you.
Silly boy.
Let's do this.
This is the end. This is what we've all been waiting for, the end of this game. I don't know about we all. Some people enjoyed it that I've heard personally when I got mad at this, but this is the end of Serious Sam 4. I don't think I'll be playing this Siberian side game or whatever, but through all the agony, the fury, the bullshit, I'd even say trauma, we're finally at the end. So I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and 1K gang, let's go on to the next, as we always do.